I've taken an LSAT prep course before, and what they recommend us to do when we're answering reading comprehension or logical reasoning is to pre-phrase it before you start looking at the answer choices. Um, but sometimes it's very difficult to pre-phrase when it's a very complex argument. Example has three premises and then a sub-conclusion and then a conclusion, and then in between all that, like I have to figure out if it's a conditional or a causal relationship.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Pre-phrasing isn't always the way to go. It's a useful strategy, and when you can do it, it's great, but it doesn't work for every question or for every question type. For flaw questions, for example, pre-phrasing is useful because there's one big flaw the argument's guilty of, and if you can identify and articulate that flaw for yourself, it's much easier to solve the question. But on the other hand, a question type like strengthen or weaken, there might be several different ways you could strengthen or weaken the argument. So you might not have any pre-phrase at all, or the one that you come up with might not be the one LSAC is asking about. So I wouldn't count on it as a strategy that will work all the time.
Okay. So like what do you recommend to do for those type of questions then?
Be open to possibilities. I mean, to weaken an argument, for example, you want to be open to alternative possibilities and alternative explanations. And so the one you did come up with, the one that you prephrase, is simply one, but there could be many, many other possibilities as well. So if we say, for example, someone got a 180 on the LSAT, therefore they're guaranteed to gain admission to Harvard, that's an argument that's obviously open to attack. There are many ways we could weaken that argument. Perhaps their GPA was a 2.0, or maybe they didn't go to undergrad at all, or maybe they committed a felony, or maybe their personal statement was terrible. There's a lot of reasons why even getting a 180 would not guarantee admission to Harvard. I just listed 3 or 4 different ways to weaken that argument. LSAC could ask any one of them. So it's really about engaging with it in a more informal, real world sense, like you were having a conversation with somebody. I get the sense that you're asking about these techniques that are useful, but they can't be applied mechanically, and they're not always applicable. So be open to alternatives. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.